What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Stoic Context. Today we are going to react to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm going to be saving my commentary for the end of the video, so stay tuned for that.
Lydia, unmute yourself. That's like a woman that has 38 double G's down. It's like you can't. Come on, man. How are you?
I'm good.
How old are you?
I'm 23. So I actually called in earlier this week, and you called me out. You called me scatterbrained, and it made me think a lot, and it made me actually. I took your criticism and I applied it, and so I'm actually coming in with a question.
All right.
So you say women should be in competition, or not competition, but women should have a standard, and there should be almost like a competition, and there should be a beauty of standard, which I agree with. But then you say, oh, but then they shouldn't do plastic surgery and stuff like that. Like men don't like that. But I feel like a lot of women who get plastic surgery is to meet those beauty standards.
No.
If I'm making sense.
No.
And so it's like,
no, hold on. You got to keep going on with the outcome. The women who get these comic proportions, do you see them married to men of value?
No.
Thank you.
All right. But then so then the question is what is the beauty standard? Because I feel like
well, the point, okay. The first thing, women being competitive is one thing. Trying to cheat, getting comic proportion beauty enhancements is like using steroids. No one respects that. Men don't marry that. And what is a beauty standard? That is that they're, look, I don't want to get into the subject of European versus this versus that. Be the best version of yourself. Men want a woman as close to as natural as possible, a woman that is fit. A woman that is fit, a low body fat percentage, a woman who's active, you know, a woman who is in reasonable shape, you know, dress size. Some guys like women who are on the thinner side. So women like women on a little thicker side, you know, 2, 4, 6, something, maybe even 8. But when you start getting into the 10s and 12s and be way less than a man. You want a standard? Go back and look at Jet Magazine. Go back and look at Soul Train. Go back and look at your people in the 60s and 70s. Go look at your grandma now. That's the standard. Men haven't changed. Men are relatively the same height and same weight we've been for the last 100 years.
Interesting. So would you say that this beauty of standard placed in today's media is made by women?
Beauty, well, that's a convoluted question. What's in media is to sell products. I mean, they don't sell Brazilian. Let's talk about weave and wigs.
Yeah.
That's a $10 billion industry.
Yeah.
What's the most you've ever spent on a hairpiece?
$400.
You're 23?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What's your rent?
My rent?
Yeah.
My rent is $700.
Thank you. $400 on a wig, that's half a month rent.
But I feel like, well, you have to take into account that I don't have a lot of quote unquote responsibilities. I don't have.
So you can be irresponsible?
No, I'm not saying, I'm saying I treated myself.
That's the problem. You allow to treat yourself and you're irresponsible. So men look at women. No, you want the answer. Women see a man who treats himself like that pays a penalty. It does.
But
it makes no sense to me. And listen, I need you to listen. I need you to pay attention to what I'm about to say, because this is going to sting a little bit. It makes no sense to men that women go out of their way to spend lots of money on something that grows out of your head naturally.
May I say something?
Sure.
I don't, a $400 purchase every year or so, investing in myself, I don't think that's a crazy purchase. Okay. I don't spend a lot on
But how much does
makeup
the
or
average
clothes
woman
or
spend? How
nails.
much
You know what
that?
I'm saying? So I
How
think
much does the average black woman spend on hair upkeep monthly?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't like are you
Well, how
talking
much
about
you?
naturally or are you talking
Well,
about
no. How often do you go to the beauty salon? Go get your hair. How often do you keep? What do you spend?
I do my own hair. So all I
Okay,
do is
most
buy
people
pieces
don't.
and I do my own hair. So
Most people don't.
what I'm spending on either my products for my natural hair
Mm-hmm.
or what I'm spending on my hair pieces, that's what I'm spending. I do my own hair and stuff like that.
Yeah, but your hair. But the point is, the hair pieces are additions to what's already in your hair. What's wrong with your natural hair? You don't need hair pieces. Your grandma didn't have hair pieces. My grandmother wore a wig because she got tired of doing her hair, she was old. Y'all are young. Why are y'all wearing all this fake hair on your head when we don't even want it? We don't want it. We don't like it. That's not you. That don't naturally go out your head. That don't look nothing like you. That's not a black woman's hair on your head.
A
It does
lot of
not make you
people
more
do it for
beautiful.
like
It
protective
doesn't
styles and stuff.
you protect your hair from what? That's
Well,
bullshit. Now, young lady,
okay.
when y'all start this protective stuff, y'all ain't even doing that's another cop out. Protecting it from what? Okay, let me ask you this. Let me back up. Slow it back. Back up.
Okay.
Who's how many days a week are you in the gym?
4 days a week.
Okay. At least you're doing it. But most women spend more time dealing with their hair than they do working out. It's
That's
a
true. I
10
agree.
billion.
I agree.
It's a $10 billion industry. Black hair is a $10 billion. There's so much emphasis put on stuff that's on your head and on your fingers versus what's going in our bodies and in our minds. Men have been. How often do you often hear men say they want women with weave or wig, or do they say they don't want that?
I often hear a lot of men say they want women with good hair. So I think it goes back to
Good
the beauty standard.
man. Oh my God! Are you honestly
No,
going to tell me you are these straight men?
yeah.
I have never heard a man say, "You know what? I want a woman with good hair, good pussy, but good hair." No, come on, man. I've never heard a man. I want a woman with good hair.
It's a thing in the black community, the
No, it's
good hair.
oh Jesus Christ. Women, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it. I'm gonna do it. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick poll.
Okay.
Go ahead and do a quick poll.
All right.
How many men have ever told a woman, or said, "You want a woman," told a woman, I want her to have good hair. I am 52 years old. When I hear good hair, that's a woman thing. That ain't coming from us. That's coming from y'all. And if you're telling me that men today, young men, are saying, "You know what? I would date a man, but her hair wasn't good enough." I ain't never heard no shit like that before in my life. That's why they're laughing. Cap. Yeah. They're having a good time. Yeah, I ain't never heard that shit before in my life. In the comment section, keep it light, keep it respectful. But young lady, that's not what men walk around saying. Man, I'd have dated her, man, but her hair wasn't good enough. So
Again, I think it goes back to upkeep. It goes back to upkeep and looking good.
For who? Looking good to who?
For men.
Black men do not like wigs or weave.
Okay.
You don't look like your natural self. That does not look like a black woman. What's on your head is not you. We cannot go to the continent and see that on our women. So if you talk about a European beauty standard, you do it every time you put on a wig or weave. It ain't us, it's y'all that do this stuff. That's why y'all send a mixed message talk about it. You don't like a European beauty standard? Well, take that wig off your head. Take the weave out. Wear your natural hair. Whatever it is, whatever length it is, and put it in whatever style you can. Mm-hmm. Stop protecting your hair from the sun and oxygen. Protective hairstyle. That's the most bullshit stuff What the hell says it's protective hair? What? protecting it from the atmosphere. Now,
Wait, okay.
Seriously though,
yeah,
I think you need to start asking more men, point blank. Ask, do you prefer a woman to have natural hair, or do you prefer her to wear a wig or weave?
Mm-hmm. So my brothers and my father, they prefer natural. They prefer natural hair and stuff like that. Okay. So I grew up, with like knowing that natural hair is what men really like. Like I grew up, but I feel like through school, especially like through school and through media, like people don't want, in my opinion, like that. They say they want natural hair, but they really don't.
When you say people, ma'am, hold on. When you say people, when you went to school, who are the people you're talking about?
I'm talking about men.
No, ma'am.
Like I
no,
know
ma'am.
the
No,
comments
ma'am.
are
No, ma'am.
saying
No,
like
ma'am. That's bullshit.
That's
bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because most men are like your father and your brothers. And then you got the message at home. We like natural hair. Your father, we like natural hair. Your brothers, we like natural hair. But then you went to school with them wig wearing, weave wearing girls, and they started changing your mind because the stuff y'all look at and talk about each other. Men do not leave their house talking like your brother and your father and then go to school asking for women to wear weave and wigs. That's insane.
I don't think they're necessarily asking, but I think they don't mind it. I feel like a lot of men actually don't mind.
Stop. Thank you. Just like the first woman who said, men may not have a problem with it, but they don't mind it. How can it? Black men have been asking black women to take that shit off your head for most of my life, but it's getting worse. They don't mind it. They're tired of arguing with you about it. You know how ridiculous y'all look with that, as dark as y'all are with that shit on y'all's head? Y'all look like some fools. Y'all look like some zip damn fools. We actually sit down and laugh to see, is that her scalp? Y'all look crazy. The darker you are with this long flowing stuff out your head, like that is not how you look.
A lot of actually, the people in my tribe, we actually we do have hair like that. So I don't like the narrative that dark women.
No, the point is we like you in your natural state. And I'm saying dark, not as you can have whatever shade, but it starts to it's not big as far as our hair length, it also gets into the color. You ladies are wearing stuff that does not naturally go out of your head in colors that don't actually come in our DNA. And you cannot tell me that this is driven by the men. This is driven by what you ladies are trying to one up each other and look good and cute for each other. Men have been saying what they want for the longest, but y'all don't listen to us. I mean, we're your men, and we can't even get y'all to treat us nice and smile. What is a group of men who can't even get their women to smile at them? How are they going to get you to stop doing anything y'all want to do?
Okay.
Where's your last boyfriend?
When you said?
Mm-hmm. How long ago was your last boyfriend?
2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And did you still have this hairstyle then?
Say it again. Sorry.
Did you have this same hairstyle then?
No. So I mean, I did when I met him, but he preferred my natural look, so I wear.
Oh, you can't make this shit up. Your father, your son, your ex-boyfriend all want natural, but yet you keep talking about black men who ain't in your life, who you see what I mean? Look at what you're focusing on.
I see what you mean now.
What you're focusing on. The men who are in your life whose opinion you're supposed to care about. Then you go and say, well, in the media. No, it's not in the media. It's what you watch on Instagram, TikTok. It's women looking at women.
I guess where I'm getting convoluted, or where I think I see your point, but when you brought up saying men in my life, because I guess I'm seeing media and I'm thinking majority of men when I'm not even considering what the men in my life.
Let me ask you a general question. It has nothing to do with hair. Out of 100%,
say it again?
Let me ask you a question. It has nothing to do with hair. Out of 100% of adult men, 100% of adult men, adult normal heterosexual men, right? 100%. What percentage of those men are having sex?
Adult men,
mm-hmm.
I believe 80%.
Mm-hmm. And what you've just witnessed, people, is women. When you talk about men women automatically go to the men that they find attractive. There, 60% of men on this planet will reproduce. The planet has always had 30 to 40% of men who will never reproduce, have children. There's a large group of men in this country who are virgins, incels. But most women think 80% of all men are having sex because they think all men are doing what the very narrow band, the top 20% of men they find attractive are doing. So that's what you focus on. You focus on 20% or 10% of men and you try to assume what they want and you extrapolate that to all men. It just shows you don't know all men. Your brothers, and everybody like your brother falls into that 80% that you're not paying attention to. Your father falls into that 80% you're not paying attention to. Do that example. Ask a woman what percentage of men they think are having sex, and they'll always tell you 70, 80, 90%. And men are like, what? If 80% of men were getting laid, having sex, we'd have no fucking problems.
I see your point.
Goes to further prove that modern women are so out of touch with the men with whom they share the planet with. This is a good example of women, if they're not, I'm sorry, men understand something. If women aren't attracted to you in our community, your opinion doesn't matter. I didn't make that rule, guys. But in our community in particular, if they're not attracted to you, what you think doesn't matter. They only care about the men they find attractive, what they think. And it's more extreme in our community. And it's sad. It really shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
And I would say this: start doing your natural hair now, because I would tell you, most men look at that. Most men have a real problem with women, black women's hair. Let me tell you why. One, because how much it costs. Two, how much time you guys spend worrying about it. Don't pull it. Don't touch it. Can't go swim. Can't go there. This is no. Your hair should not be another consideration in a relationship. Whatever's in your head, on your head, rock with it. Because if you wanted to go swimming, if your man says, I want to go swimming, can you swim?
Yes. So actually, it's probably better to swim in a weave than it is in your natural hair. Like, I don't think you understand how much.
Image consultant. Come on, I understand. I understand you focus. I understand that when you want to do something, you'll find a way to justify it. A better question is, what's wrong with your natural hair? Why can't you?
Nothing. It's just a lot of upkeep. So I like to.
What do you mean it's a lot of upkeep?
It is a lot of upkeep.
Meaning what?
It just requires a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. Like a Black woman's hair, especially like type 4C, like the super curly hair.
I know the women are from my family. It's a lot of upkeep. How come they didn't have a problem? How come women for every generation before yours seem to not have a problem with it?
I think they did have a problem.
No, they didn't.
And hence why.
No. I grew up with them. You don't know these people. I'm gonna tell you the problem is y'all are lazy. Y'all are lazy. Oh, y'all lazy as fuck compared to previous generation. Y'all lazy, y'all soft, and y'all delicate.
Yes.
Y'all know, so y'all don't want any trouble. You want everything easy. And when I'm listening to somebody say the upkeep on what grows out of my hair is so troublesome. All right, then. Men are saying so. Let me get this right. Because you are too lazy to do your own hair, we got to make an additional $400 to $1,000 every however so often to keep your hair done. And then when you go to the beauty salon, men are tired of when y'all go to the salon. It's gonna be 2 to 4 hours. Y'all don't realize how much y'all's hair is a problem for men. But just like I did a broadcast on pets, dogs in particular, how much single men have a problem with single women with these damn dogs. Y'all don't think about concern yourself with what men want. Y'all are worried about what y'all like.
Okay, but can I ask you a question?
Last one, I got to get on. Go ahead.
Okay. So you're saying men, they don't like the upkeep. They don't like to, they just go your natural hair. But like you said it yourself, like you grew up seeing women take the time to do their natural hair. Like I'm trying to emphasize the work no matter if it's a weave or your natural hair, like Black women's hair take work. And yeah.
No, it doesn't, ma'am.
That's just
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yes.
Because no, who you think you're talking to? My grandmother was a
man.
domestic.
I'm talking to
my grandmother
man.
was a domestic.
He doesn't have Black women's hair.
Oh, now you're about to get checked. Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't have to have Black women's hair to know what the hell I'm talking about. I grew up seeing more Black women than you probably did doing your 4C hair. And they actually had to get up and go work real hard goddamn jobs. Getting on somebody's floor and cleaning up floors for white folks. Factory work. Out in the field, picking shit. Y'all sitting in offices complaining about doing your hair. My grandmother could do her hair, which was nappier than yours. My mother could do her hair, which is nappy as yours. And still get out and have to work a fucking 10-hour day, living in the projects, broke. Man, you don't want to have this conversation with me.
Samuel,
No, get it going. Go. Lazy ass. You hear this shit? You don't know. Fuck you mean? This is the length they will go to. Y'all got to do better than this. The hair that grows out of my head is so problematic. I got to put another woman's hair on my head. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to say something. You might not like it. If you think that's the hair we like, then we might as well go get the woman whose hair it grows out of. If that's the case, if that's the hair we like, why do we need you? Why do we go to get her and leave your ass where you are lazy?
Man, this was an episode that I wish he didn't drag out this long or even go through, because obviously this wasn't even worth having. Sadly, this woman done built his pressure up. But it was needed. This conversation was definitely needed. And even though he expended a lot of time speaking to this woman, what we got was a very, very important lesson. And one, that is that these women don't really care about what men say. Two, the standards in which they put themselves in or on are mainly because of other women, i.e. the competition. And there's so many more things I can go into, but we're just gonna break up some parts of these. But there's so many other things that I can get into. But all in all, these women don't care. That's what it really comes down to. And that's the point of Kevin extending this episode, because this was just a foolish conversation to have with this young woman, because she clearly doesn't even care about what the men want. Some people say they do it for their own reasons. They do it because the beauty standards. Like, which one is it? Are you doing it because you're doing it for yourself? Or are you doing it because of the beauty standards and what you think men want? You're going to go ahead and give them. Forget what they've been saying. Forget how everyone around her has been telling her they prefer her natural hair. She's going to still do differently anyway. Most of the men around her told her, have your natural hair. She doesn't care about that. So then now she's going to build up the standard and then have this be the norm. And now a man has to take care of the fact that she now needs her hair done, and her hair needs to be a certain way as the norm, as the standard. And who's going to pay for it? The man will. Well, someone like you, like if you were to go get a woman like this, you would be paying for it. $200 to $400 every couple of weeks on just hair. Hair that she can't even keep, hair that won't be hers. For all of that, let's go ahead and take her to Turkey. It'd be cheaper to take her to Turkey. At that point, if you really want your hair to be longer, By the time you add up all the money you've spent in a year, she could have went to Turkey and she would have been looking like Bob Marley in a week. But it's crazy. This is asinine. But I'm glad Kevin did extend it all in all. Because as you get to hear these conversations develop, you start to notice the hypocrisy and the insanity in most of these women. And one of you will have to pay for it. But I hope you guys took notes. It's a very interesting episode. Everyone, please make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Turn on post notifications so you will be alerted when we upload more videos just like this one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.